I remember like going to New York and seeing cats with their hats all like, but in Chicago, that's a gang. You know what I'm saying? Hat to the left or hat to the right is a gang. So I remember just feeling free in a sense.
This is how we take old from the new.
Rap fabulous.
So what up? Welcome to Rap Fabulous CONVOS. First episode with an amazing being, amazing talent. My man, Wood Harris. Welcome, my dude.
Thank you, man. How you doing?
No, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for doing the show.
Of course.
This past weekend, you took over the entire show, so you did what you do.
I had to do that, man. They tired of me. They want me now.
And the whole point of the show is about the culture, right? Like how the culture affected you, made you who you are. Those moments in time when you were a kid and that first song, I think you said LL was that first song for you.
Yeah, LL, Rock the Bells, literally was like, took me into hip hop. I mean, I had an instance before that, with the Sugar Hill Gang. Everybody kind of liked that type of stuff. But Rock the Bells and LL Cool J just made me want to be involved with hip hop rather than a listener, a casual listener. So some of these songs, that's what they did back in the days. They turned people into MCs and made us devout listeners. So I think Rock the Bells, some of the Run DMC content, it really did take me there, And then Rakim and KRS One, it was over.
So my question to you, because you mentioned Rock the Bells, I always find it interesting. I'm trying to remember, I think for me it was Planet Rock, but for Sharon, David Harris.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
The son of Maddie and James.
Yeah, this is already, I'll be back. I got to go. Okay. Man,
No.
What?
What? Do you have a memory of that moment when you heard LL? Was it on the radio?
It definitely was on the radio. Yeah, I was like, being from Chicago, and they were already using like OMG, LL Cool J is nothing. That don't mean, EPMD means nothing, right? Even Run, DMC, they were already kind of using stuff that we commonly use now, back then. So I just really was kind of like, what is this? LL Cool J, the name itself, I was like, and I wasn't so hip to a lot of the New York slang. So as a Chicago person listening, it really made me more curious about the culture, like the New York culture. Yeah,
because a lot of people don't realize, like in the '80s when hip hop, it was really regionalized. Like you had New York had a sound, LA had a sound, and when New York had a sound in the '80s, like house music was big in Chicago.
That's
like,
right.
People don't like. That was that house that I love house music too, by the way.
Me too.
Big props to all the house producers, but
definitely,
that's interesting that's where it came from. And then
one house producer lived next door to me. He made "Work It to the Bone." Why don't you just work?
Oh snap!
To the bone, 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 bone. That was my next door neighbor, and I dated his sister. You know what I'm saying? So Ricky Lenore, right? was he, and he's alive and everything, but yeah. Ricky Lenore produced that.
So let's talk about this.
Okay.
Culture kicks in. You do your thing when you're a kid. You earn the BA from NIU. Made it to NYU before breaking. Like that pathway, how did the culture affect you to get you to Above the Rim? Because it seems like you got in Above the Rim, your first film. What was that process? And how did the music play a part in that? Like, that's what this is all about in the culture. And when I say music, I mean culture, fashion, all that embodied, especially coming from Chicago.
Yeah. Well, coming from Chicago and being in New York in the early 90s, I didn't feel very removed from Chicago because I come from a big city and I'm just going over. It's like a lateral move in a sense, kind of what it felt like. But one of the greater differences, in my opinion, of New York and Chicago at the time is that Chicago had a very enriched gang culture that, New York didn't have. So I remember like going to New York and seeing cats with their hats all like, but in Chicago, that's a gang. You know what I'm saying? Hat to the left or hat to the right is a gang. So I remember just feeling free in a sense, artistically free and not bound to my region, which is Chicago, which is, I didn't have to be like anybody else in a sense. I could totally be myself. Because I wasn't living in New York trying to be a New Yorker, you know what I'm saying? I just was free from, I guess, some of the toxic stuff that I was more privy to as a Chicagoan.
So I'm gonna jump right into it on another level, because I always like to understand where it started from the beginning. You know,
Okay.
I know you went to a Catholic high school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
St. Joseph, go Chargers, is that right? Go Chargers.
That's right.
Your brother played ball.
My brother played football. We followed Isaiah Thomas, who went he went to my grade school and my high school. My brother is close friends with, my brother's my older brother, and so he's close friends with Isaiah to this day. And Isaiah's nephew is my brother's, best friend, one of my brother's best friends. So that's how we got incorporated into St. Joseph's, because everybody from the Resurrection, my grade school, wanted to follow Isaiah Thomas because he was so prominent. And and I play basketball, so for me it was like, well, I gotta go to St. Joe's. You know what I'm saying?
Did you do any performing there in high school?
No, I didn't really perform any kind of acting or any kind of rapping or anything until I guess I was probably 20 or 19 or 20, and it was in Chicago I started doing these industrial plays, which is a weird thing. I don't think it exists anymore. But what it was like, we did these tours, and we went to corporations, and they paid us to do these little skits on against drug use and just say no type stuff. And so yeah, they put together these skits. We made $900 a skit. You know what I'm saying? Skit lasts like 25 minutes. So I was like, $900 for do this? And so, yeah, I was getting $900 every skit. I would do it 2 or 3 times, in that day. So we would get, it was cool. It was a lot of money to me back then, And so also I understood you can make money doing it, and I just got introduced to everything differently. But in Chicago, that's how it started for me. I didn't do any performing. I had a rap group now, and we performed.
I was going to say, because I want to talk about the MC part, because people don't realize, in the heart of hearts, you're an MC and a poet.
That's right. Which is the same thing to me, but
True.
I'm an MC that is a poet. Not all MCs are poets or whatever. So
true.
Yeah. I had an early rap group, early Chicago rap group, I should say, and we called Fruit of the Mind, FOTM, kind of based on like Fruit of Islam. And I would say that we were kind of like a mixture of maybe Tribe Called Quest and like NWA.
Yo, hold up. I'm trying to find it, because I feel like we followed the same path. Because like you, I produced a track.
Dope.
We were called The I.
What?
And they were down with the 5 Percenters.
Absolutely. That was it.
And the whole project was about that.
Yeah.
So that's why it sounds, and I'm a big Tribe fan, so the production elements, I always talk about our partner Ron with 24 and Ada. I think I played it for him one time. He was in New York, and I was like, and he didn't know I produced the track. So yeah.
Oh, check that out.
Little plug to my boys, The I, Supreme and Scientific. Those were my 2 MCs.
So when I can, like I'm gonna have to look that up, brother. I'm gonna have to go ahead. Can I YouTube that? What's going on?
Nah, man. Well, you know what? Ron always says I need to go get the publishing, because it was through
you
a
don't
company
have the song?
I have the CDs, but
okay.
the publish. Come on, man. That was back in the days when I was like, yo, let's do this record deal.
No, I hear you, for sure.
I made no money off of it. All that, it was that whole process.
So what's up, man? You still making music?
Nah. I'm focused on the DJ aspect again, just getting my fingers back to where they were.
Man. No excuses, man. No
and
excuses.
then, of course, I mean, we've got all the things we got to do.
And then
I've got
I need beats. I need a beat, dog. We're going to do everything that we said, and then Mike is going to go make a beat package for Wood, okay? Mike is going to make a beat package for Wood at some point before 2027.
All right, I'm down. I got that.
Right,
you gave me some room.
I gave you some time, though. You know what I'm saying?
You gave me some room. But let's talk about your body of work. And one of the things that I realize is you have a massive body of work on TV. You've got a massive body of work in film. And the question to you is, because what is a film or a television series that may not have been critically acclaimed that will make people go back and look for it because you felt that passion about that role that you did?
I think I have a few of those things. I mean, one project is it's called The Breaks, which was a phenomenal project in my opinion, and it was dealing with music, and my character was a music mogul on the show. It's a good one to go look back at. It had great acting in it. You know, the producers. One of the producers was from The Wire, and so I had a lot of comfort, and I felt good doing the project. So that's one. Like again, it's called The Breaks. I think you can find it maybe on YouTube now. Initially, it came out, I believe, on VH1, I believe. Yeah, because it was music oriented. So I love that project. That's one of them for sure. Other than that, man, I'm so blessed as an actor to be in such large projects, you know, in terms of very visible projects. Like, I think Creed, the last Creed I did was #1 in the world, you know.
What does that feel like? Like, what does it feel like when you you do a major film like that and you just see it go across the globe? What does that feel like?
You know, man, for me, I'm just, man, I'm so blessed, bro. I'm super blessed as an individual. And so I really don't put anything to it, to be honest with you. Like, I don't have an ego at all about the success of a TV program or a movie or something. I would have some ego if I like made black people better. You know, if I had something to do with shaping an ideology that, you know,
Are we gonna talk about that?
are we okay? Bet.
We're
But
gonna talk about that.
okay, bet.
So
bet.
hold that one.
All right.
I think the bigger question is a lot of black actors tend to get typecasted or they get into a certain space. And I know it's crazy political in that acting space. So how did that work for you? Because like I said, you've been in Creed, you've been in movies that are not culturally black. Like you've moved in so many different spaces. And of course, now you've got the hit on Netflix, Forever. How did you like move and maneuver in that space?
You know, man, I think in part, I had one solid year that I believe just magnified my presence, right? It didn't make me like, when I say magnify my presence, it made the industry, not necessarily the fans, but the people in the industry, producers, directors, and all in one year, I think, or in close proximity, there was Jimi Hendrix that I performed, you know, Remember the Titans, which is sports, and I think The Wire. So that's a lot of diversity as an actor, you know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, it kind of like raised gave me some visibility for producers and other people who. So I never stopped really getting hired, you know. I never stopped working, you know. I think that's why I'm so, I guess, well known at this point. You know, I just never ever stop working. And I don't think about the work when I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm done working, I'm just done working. Cause honestly,
Right,
I don't want to work. I want to play. I'm not an artist, so I could work. So I'm trying to stay, you know, 18. I'm 18 with gray hair, but
no, I mean, look, we all like the gray hair. I do think having that energy of always wanting to learn and do things different is a plus. And we're getting ready to talk about that in a second.
Bet.
Does the Netflix Forever, does it feel different than the movies in regards to notoriety? Like, because I always hear this Netflix effect. Does it feel different or not?
It is different. It's not Netflix. It's the actual series. You know, Netflix is our distributor, but Forever, somehow, man, I just didn't see it coming, but it really set me apart even more than I thought, you know. It's just so well received. And also, I just gave you a list. There's a rock star, Jimi Hendrix, that I was, but that's drugs, sex, and stuff like that. There was Remember the Titans, but that's dealing with racial conflict, right? And then there's like gangster stuff, right? And all of those are, you know, I can't name a star, not to call myself a star, I don't really talk about myself like that, but I can't name anybody in my business who can elevate, but for so far with those type of characters. even if I'm killing it, especially I believe probably as a black actor, right? So Netflix and Forever just really catapulted me into another direction because such a positive character. And I'm being a father. I've been a father before on movies and television, but somehow, I mean, this father I am is the father I am, Wood Harris. You know what I'm saying? So it just so happens to be that Forever, which has given me a lot of growth as an artist, as an actor. It's the simplest thing that I've ever done because it's in my opinion, it's predicated on my own personality, which is I don't have any deviation from the way I actually think. So I have a lot less homework to do in preparation for this character. And my point of bringing up those other ones like Jimi Hendrix and juxtapose Forever is that it's just a positive thing. There's nothing you can take away from Eric. He's great with his wife. I mean, he's the head of the household like they haven't seen necessarily, in my opinion, since like Good Times. Oops, sorry. I got us, Mike. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, since Good Time, there hasn't really been a father kind of like Eric, you know. And I think John Amos was more that. He's the greatest TV father.
Oh yeah. And for those who don't know, John Amos, we're talking about Good Times, right? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Because we got some millennials and Gen Zs that might be like, John
like,
Amos and not understanding. Yeah, what are you talking about? What is that?
Star Wars.
Matter of fact, this is John Amos. I just want to put him on screen so people know.
I appreciate that.
Go look on YouTube.
And rest in peace. I think he passed relatively recently. And
yeah. That was a hard one. I actually met him. I remember you know how you meet people, and we all been in, we all come from an industry, and I never get starstruck. I've always been, they put on the pants or just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But he was one, he walked into a studio I was at, and I just shook his hand and was just like, thank you. That's all I said, was just thank you for just your art and what you've done.
Nah.
So I do have my John Amos
That's
photo.
cool that you feel that way. And more people should like understand the impact of him. But now they talk about me. If you go on TikTok, it's the greatest dad on, And I'm like, my daughter was like, you got to look at TikTok. I look at TikTok, I'm like, what? Because honestly, my son on the show, Keisha, or her real name is Lovey, and Michael, who plays Justin, my son, I don't see how you can look past them. Or Dawn, who is Karen Pittman. Because they do a lot of work on the show. So somehow I'm like their favorite character in lots of people, and I just don't understand it. I'll be honest with you, I do not, because they're awesome. Those people are awesome. They really are. My son on the show, he's brilliant. In real life, he's not that way. He's not like what you see. He's somewhat like it, but nah, he's acting. Lovey, who plays Keisha, she ain't like that. Okay? They're great. Dawn, my wife on the show, she's so different than what you see. They're phenomenally talented. They really are. Dawn is Emmy nominated, and Dawn, her name is Karen in real life, but she and I went to the same school. She went to NYU as well. After me, but yeah, she went to NYU as well. I went to NYU, Mahershala Ali, we all studied the same teachers. Mahershala Ali, Jeffrey Wright, me.
Oh, snap, Jeffrey Wright.
Who else?
Okay.
Even Jonathan Majors, Sterling K. Brown. I think some of the greater actors in this era right now, they happen to study from the same unit of teachers. But the teachers don't really make you who you are. As an artist, you have to have some sort of connection to your own imagination. But a good teacher will give you skill, not what your intuitiveness is. So, but those guys have incredible intuition.
I mean, you just named off a bunch of alumni. Do y'all ever get together?
I'm closest out of that group. I know them all. No, actually, that's not true. I don't know Sterling. But I know John Majors from Creed. I know Jeffrey Wright just from Life, right? I'm probably closest with Jeffrey. And Mahershala too. I know Mahershala really well. Mahershala makes beats. Mahershala makes music. Mahershala produced for Shabazz Palaces. He's a great producer. He's awesome. Mahershala Ali. We should have him on the show. Mahershala Ali. Yeah,
now let's do that, because that's what it's about. Once again, is people don't realize how much the culture affects different spaces. actors.
He's a great
people in
proponent of
finance.
the culture too. He and Jeffrey Wright are great pushers of this culture, of the positive angle on the culture to, to control this ideological thing. So they're great with that as a mission statement to their brands. They are very like pro growth for our culture, or for the culture. So yeah, but Jeffrey is the man. Jeffrey is one of the greatest actors in my opinion. So is Mahershala. Mahershala is a 2-time Oscar winner, I think. Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, two, at least 2-time winner, I think. No, at least I don't know. I don't know. Jeffrey was nominated. Jeffrey got nominated for his role. I went to school with Ingenue Ellis. I don't know if you know who that name, Ingenue. Ingenue was in my class.
Wow.
Saul Williams, the poet /
Wow.
actor, phenomenal. I'm closest with Saul Williams among of them all. Saul is like my bro. But yeah, I guess there's a lot of people. I never really think about that list. There's a lot of people. We studied under a few great teachers. One named Ron Van Loo. Ron Van Loo had this black culture at NYU and also Yale, because John Majors went to Yale. And I was accepted to Yale, but I chose NYU because I rap. So I'm like, I gotta be in New York. Plus my brother lived in New York. But I almost went to Yale just so my mother would like have a kid that went to, Ivy League school type thing. But at the end of the day, I just was myself and I went to NYU.
So Wood, why don't you frame up Forever, the show on Netflix that you're in? Who's in it? What it's all about? There might be 1 or 2 people that never seen the show.
Forever is based on the Judy Blume book. Judy Blume authored many books back in the day, so it's an older book published many decades ago. It's a story of young love, and from my standpoint or the parents' standpoint, it's nostalgic love, right? So it deals with like kind of like your first crush in a sense, and like my son, who's played by Michael Cooper Jr., his character name is Justin. It deals with how he starts to fall in love with Lovey Simone's character, who plays Keisha, and it's a difficult finding place for him because she has some baggage that came along with her by way of like, I hate to give it all away, but by way of some very what's the word? How could I put it? Yeah, unfortunate circumstances that put her in a place where she had some embarrassing sort of things happen, right? People were trying to like shame her. I guess they call it like slut shame her and stuff like that. So when my son finds out, he still supports her. And then his friends are like, yo, what you doing? She this, she that. When in actuality, she's like a virgin. She's a virgin, okay? But they treating her like she's some kind of this and that. But my son figures it out. And I give him simple tutelage, simple fatherly tutelage, which is why I was talking about my character, Eric, being a great, that's why people, I should say, are talking about my dad character of Eric being such a like an America's dad type guy, because he really does help out his son, who has a lot of questions, because those first crushes people have, they're dynamic, and powerful, and you just think forever is going to happen. I'm gonna be with you forever, and it kind of deals with that. And a lot of the times, people, that first crush goes away, and you just don't ever see them again. So that's not the case with this. Our second season, I don't know what's going to happen. It is picked up for its second season. Thank you. It was #1. Also, it came out #1 like right away, and for anybody who wants to know anything else about it, you can go on any of the social medias like TikTok, particularly, and if you put Forever in there, you'll get all the information that you need to know. But Judy Blume wrote it. Mara Brock Akil produced it along with Regina King. And one of the guys from The Wire, Anthony Hemingway, he wasn't a producer, but he was a director on The Wire. Now he's a director and a producer for Forever. And Mara, people know her from, I think she produced Girlfriends and her.
Hey, yo, real talk, I love it. Black on black on black.
Always black on black on black for sure. But also, you know what? It's universal.
Well, what I'm saying is, I know the show is universal because my daughter's friends are every color of the rainbow and they love the show.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. So it feels, you don't feel like you're watching something that's demonstrating a racial incident at all. It's love-based. And you know, when you're dealing with love, it's like, it's not race-based at all. It's although there are tenets of it, like I tell my son, you know, don't go drink. And then he's like, okay. He's repeating it with me. I go, don't go out there drinking alcohol.
Oh, yeah, right. I remember that scene.
Yeah.
It was like the first or second
and
scene
then at
in
the
movie.
end I was like, and he said it with me, no white girls. So it does have a little bit of racial shit, because his homies are talking about, man, you better get these white girls, you know what I'm saying? But
No, I get it, because
so-
I have a daughter in the same scenario. I'm like, wait, don't drink out of nobody's cup that you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
it's tough, bro. Modern parenting, and that's another thing it displays, modern parenting. When we were young, came up like the home phone rang. You dig? You said, man, listen, I can't talk right now. I'm not supposed to be on the phone. We come from the Flintstones, damn near, when you think about it. You know, but now it's like they're like boom. They're like boom, 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 boom. They're typing and texting and they know everything, they see everything.
Yes. Because I remember when my daughter transitioned from 5th to 6th grade, we made sure that we told her everything, because you're going to be in there with 8th graders and you're going to see everything. So I get it.
Check. My nephew, right? My little nephew, he goes to a school called Oakwood in California. The nickname of Oakwood is Cokewood. I was like, what? What? I told his dad, I said, man, you gotta get him out of there, dog. If they call it Cokewood, you gotta get him out of there. Period. So what people have to deal with these days, bro.
No. I get it. You got to do that as a parent. You got to stay locked in. I'm on episode 3 or 4, so I have some more to get to. But you gotta be on top of it.
And you know what's interesting is that as far as black fathers go, or black parents, definitely, and black fathers particularly, there's a stereotype, you know, that I think this kind of obliterates. And in truth, I don't know, we all know I should say, maybe some absentee fathers and stuff, but we don't know enough about the fathers that were there. All we do is magnify the negative, you dig? So
No, look, one of my best friends, Johnny Mac, Giant, he's an example of that, right? He has 5 kids, 5 different mothers, but he always stayed locked in with his kids, right? Unlike most would think he would just give up on them or have the moms take care of him, he was always there. And to this day, he's got his life together, he's doing his thing, so big shout out to him. So I get that. We're not a monolith, or we are a monolith. I always get confused on that. All right, so before we get out of here, let's talk about something you're working on. Something personal to you, business-wise, we're all working on. Politrix, what we doing?
Politrix is what literally we're doing. And I'm so excited to produce our pilot episode. Will be done this week. And Politrix deals with, in my opinion, it's our group, it's A-Tip Labs, Wood Harris, Mike Fox, Ronadeb Shudri, Craig Harris, and Ed Borelli. Am I saying his name properly? Borelli, right? Yeah, I said Craig Harris, the Harris brothers. We're coming together and we're producing Politrix, which is our way, in my opinion, of controlling the narrative in the culture some, as it seems like, as moving forward, Mike, we won't be able to have anything to do with the defining of this black culture. You know, as we move into, they're kind of defining us as ratchet and things like that with some of the music and even the television. That's another good thing about Forever. It breaks from what's typical and normal. And with Politrix, it gives us an opportunity to really take a deep dive into some of the things that have affected the culture and just America in general, right? And in my opinion, it's not just about political science type politics, but the politics of things and the trickery involved. You know, like there are many gatekeepers, for instance, in the music industry. There's a lot of politics in the music industry, right? So, that said, I'm very excited to get involved and produce, and I should say, and shoot our first pilot episode with Alvin Tillery, Alvin Tillery, political science specialist, and take a deep dive into the things that matter a lot socially for us. And I always say, you know, as a group, we have a certain IQ, a group IQ that's pretty high. So I can't talk about all the things we're gonna do, but there are things we're gonna do. Yeah, you got to keep it down. And also, we'll spend the time to formulate the things most necessary. We'll spend some time to develop the things most necessary show after show, right, on Politrix. So I'm excited for us to take a deep dive. I'm excited to see what everybody provides by their ideas. And then me hosting it, I look forward to having a lot of fun, keeping it alive, living in the space with whoever I'm talking with, and us all learning something, is being like edutainment in a sense. And it gives us our own platform, essentially.
Nah, man, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to that opportunity to making that come to life. That's what this is about. And big shout out to Adave Labs, Ronadeb, and the crew. We're doing this virtually in different places: New York, New Jersey, studio. Chicago, on tap. And yo, we got to get this Jeffrey thing popping off. Like you, Jeffrey, what are we doing?
I love it. You know what? Great idea. Let's get a list of cats on the show, period.
I do want to say we got Politrix, we got Adave Labs. Big shout out to the Harris brothers. We have a lot going on, and it's all about that high IQ. That's that one thing you keep talking about.
Companies like Macro and other companies that we will easily have things to do with and generate some great content, purposeful content.
Yeah. I look at it like we're generating culture. It's about generating culture. That's what it's about.
I love it. I stole that. We're generating culture. I just stole that.
So look, first episode of Combos, Rap Fabulous Combos. I'm so honored to have you be the first guest for this. Plus, you did the Wood Harris takeover of the radio show.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything you want to say? Shout out to anyone. Floor is yours.
Nothing I can think of, but I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back. And I want to shout out all our viewers, all our listeners, man. Thank you for participating with this, and you know, there's a lot more to come. But Mike, one thing, man, over the weekend, we talked about this. Man, make these beats, man. I'm serious. I need to.
Oh, snap. I found it.
What?
Right.
Oh, there we go. We go.
This is like classic.
What?
Old school CD. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
old school
sir.
CD.
Mike Fox in the house. What? In the house. That's what's up.
This is how we take old from the new.
Rapfabulous.